Hey guys, GameBoy3800 here once again. We're back in Beam, going over some pretty work in progress ideas of mine for a variety of things. We got a woman thing here. Next, we're going to have a CRD thing, and then we're going to have something completely different. First of all, we have a Detroit diesel-powered woman. Yep, diesel woman. I did a video on this the other day. And here it is in like a more complete video form. Texture still need work, but functionality-wise, it is complete. This is 740 cubic inches. Yep, people thought Bigfoot was hot stuff with 640 cubic inches, but nope. Now we have 740. What is that in liters? Like 12.1, 12.2 liters? We are twin turbo and supercharged. We make 3,750 foot-pounds of torque. So, we can leave it in any gear. We got 3 gears, and it doesn't really matter where we go, because it'll always have torque in the power band. The rev's so low, but you go so fast. It's certainly a different way to drive a woman. It's so heavy, but you can still do some occasional flop wheelies somehow. And you can thank the monstrous amount of torque for that. Give it for Outlaw there. Just a quick tour. Let's go ahead and take a look at the parts menu and tuning options. We got the supercharger. The stock blower is a 1-to-1 ratio because it's a 2-stroke engine. So the supercharger was actually only used to scavenge air out of the cylinders. So with Detroit diesels, or any 2-stroke diesel, if it's called naturally aspirated, it is actually supercharged, but it's not gaining any power from the supercharger. It's just that's how 2-stroke diesels work. They need to scavenge the air out of the cylinders in order to combust. And twin turbos or single turbo, let's go ahead and go to stock. So stock single turbo and stock blower. And we'll find out that we don't actually make that much power, even with the revs all the way up. About 500 horsepower is about average for a Detroit diesel. We got a monstrous amount of torque because it's a diesel, of course. Yeah. Even driving around mostly stock. I did make the torque converter pretty busted so that we could drive it stock. It's only terrible, not awful. And last thing we can show for this is that the sounds are selectable. Stock sounds are a mix of the straight 6 semi-engine and the hidden V16 engine sounds, actually. And the Detroit diesel sounds are off a V12, but they still sound pretty cool. So let's give that a quick whirl. That's that. Next up, we have a pretty simple tune to look up here for MaxD 2013. What is this? Well, this is one of the commission builds I did, and it will be public. If we go to the skinny chassis, we'll have a new option with this brand new body on it. The skinny chassis before had just custom and standard cab. Now we have a full custom cab. What does this do? It gives us the ability to add the extra engine bars from the standard cab onto the custom cab, as well as the extra engine bars that are on the custom cab. So if we take a look at this, you can see have an extra bar in between the X bar pattern and the outer bar there. And we have extra bars inside the chassis as well. It's a mystery how you would ever get in or out of this, but hey, that's not our concern. Aside from that, this is a standard tune. Got some Ukraine tires. We actually survived that hit. I thought we would come off with some form of damage, but no, we did not. Very nice. What the heck kind of a move was that? You got flung sideways. Give it up for MaxD. It's a different chassis. And if you take a look, it is a more angled body than standard. Normally the front is more or less directly even with the rear, but we can see that the front does go lower than the rear. And that is all JB movement. Yep. Didn't touch the base model of the body. Just angled it and repositioned it all in JB. The only custom models on this is the support bars and the engine bars. That's pretty neat. I'm going to go to my chassis slot next, so we got to go down to here. And it'll kick off MaxD, so say goodbye to MaxD. And now if we go here, we have some new options. We have the muscle chassis. What is this? Well, let's just take a look. There's only one way to go about it. Everybody wanted it. Let's see what it is. Oh yes. It is a lowered, slammed, and car body equipped CRD. Dodge Charger, generally, I did the paint. Jeremy Prescott is the one who commissioned this body in. And this will be in specialized add-ons. You can see it uses the race suspension. And it spawns with the slam suspension, but we can put on regular height suspension if we wish. And we will do that so that we can survive a jump. Because race suspension, slam suspension is meant for hot lapping, not for freestyling. So now we're the normal height of a monster truck. And generally actually is a real truck, I found out, thanks to Mike Bev. He sent me an image after he saw this thing. Look, it is a real thing. I'm like, oh, very nice. So right now, generally is the only paint job. I will do a custom paint job of my own on this for release. it still has some work to do. For whatever reason, this bit of the grill is fine, but the other bits are like still in the bake. I don't know what's going on with that. And some of the front accessories are not completed yet, so we can see through the front bumper there. But you wouldn't notice that if I didn't show it to you. But of course I just showed it to you, so now you will only notice that. Yay me. And you can see we have a neat thing here. We have engine placement options. So we have the regular customizable engines from the race chassis and what do you call it? Adjustable add-ons. But we have a new option here, front engine placement, which was not available on the race chassis previously, but for this chassis it is, so that we can get ourselves a pretty cool combo. Let's get rid of that French Weber so no exhaust clips through it. And then headers, let's go ahead and go for down sweeps. It'll just be cool. And yep, we have a front-mounted Hemi and the race chassis. That's what this is adapted from, the race chassis. And generally is ready to go. Except not really. As I showed off before, some of the bits are not done yet for the mapping, and you can see through them, but also it has no J-beam, so this is not collidable yet. But I did put it in game just to mess around with the skin and to get the visuals right. This is a very slippery ground, actually. Still fun, though. And there's still some more work to be done on the body itself. I do want to add a big cut option to the front and rear wheel arches so that it looks more like a monster truck body, not just a car body placed on top of it. I suspect a lot of people will have fun with this though, and it has opened up a new possibility of more car bodies being added in the future, because if we take a look at what makes this chassis special and different, hide the body here. The cab is a completely stock CRD3, except it has moved back and down from a regular CRD3 to allow the more sloping roof angle and roof line and the windshield of a car body, like a muscle car. So if you had some muscle car ideas, throw them to me, and we'll see if we can work out a commission or just something cool like that. Works pretty good, if I must say. I am slightly confused on the actual placement of the suspension, but no matter. Not the drive shaft location, but no matter. And the last thing, I'm not sure if I can show my whole vehicles list, so I am going to jump cut to something spectacular. And here it is. Something spectacular, you say? This is just a bus. Why does it sound like a monster truck? Oh no, it is a monster truck. It's a monster bus. What is this? Look at the driver in there. He can barely hold on to the wheel. Oh my gosh, what is this? Well, I did this for Ashmaker. I think he goes by on the Beam forums. And this is based off Kohler. I have lengthened it. I have put a big hole in the center of it so you could drive through it. Yep, you can drive through this monster truck bus. And of course, we have the fully functioning bus body ready to go. Now, it's a much heavier monster truck than we're probably used to, so landings could be a bit rough. But it's meant just to be spectacular. It's not meant to be a performance king or anything. Because just look at this. This is something to behold. This is currently pending approval on the BeamNG website. It will not be on Beam Monsters, as far as I know. I'll see if I can do something fun with it for Meme Pack, or like a special version of it for Beam Monsters, but for now, Ashmaker has it exclusive on BeamNG.com. I think I said this is based off of Kohler, so that's why it's got the updated suspension models and stuff like that. Now this is really heavy. You can see in my power to weight thing on the side, 11,500 kilograms. That's like, what, 20,000 pounds? It's a bit insane. But if we go to here, we do have a second option. We have the tube frame chassis. What does this give us? Well, instead of the full bus chassis like how we have here, you can see, you can go to a regular monster truck body style of bus body. So it's hollow, it's lightweight, and we should be able to take jumps more accustomed to what we're used to. Now, instead of 11,500 kilograms, we are 6,000. And you did see it in the parts menu. There was like a static option too with no collision, just if you want it to be purely visual. But I do try to have the first option always be the one with collision. Let's go ahead and give this thing a big roll. Let's see what happens. Looks like we lost our front clip someplace along the way. Over we go. We shed the whole body. Look at that. And this is how the chassis looks like with nothing in it. We got a radiator on the back there, and that's stock for Kohler, actually. And here we can see how the chassis looks. We got a big stretch and radiator tubes going all the way back. But they work. Things that don't work, though, are the fans. I don't know what they're doing. On the stock bus body one, does actually utilize the stock bus radiator placement, so that's cool. Yep, this was just something fun. And it was definitely a challenge to get working so you could drive stuff through it. And I do believe that's it for now. Oh yeah, I do love that. We get the like air brake effect from like the bus sounds if you have anything on the bus. So we still get the psst whenever you go off the brakes. So that's a cool sound effect. We could look into doing that for the base mod. Or something similar, I guess, maybe. But yep, that's it. Detroit Diesel and Woolman. Customized skinny chassis with Max D on it. Custom muscle car body with General Lee. And a monster truck bus. Some of these things are coming out very soon. Some of these are still work in progress. But for now, that's it. I'll see you all in the future. Goodbye, everybody.